We are here today for our annual Baton Rouge food packing party. This is a partnership we've had with the Pack Shack for a number of years. Today, more than 200 volunteers from Healthy Blue, from Intergy, from Louisiana Blue are here today to pack healthy meals for the people of Louisiana. Specifically, we're at the Baton Rouge Food Bank, but we're doing over the course of the week, and courtesy of the winter weather, week and a half ahead, more than 200,000 meals for the people of Louisiana, and this is the kickoff of that event. We're really excited about it. Last year, as we concluded our food packing efforts to address food insecurity, we looked around and said, these three companies that are involved, did 200,000 meals. Could we do more? And one of my colleagues jokingly said, we should go for 1 million. And I said, well, that's a little ambitious just for us, but maybe if we work together with a lot of other partners, we could find a way to achieve that milestone. We pitched that idea to Volunteer Louisiana, the state's Volunteer Service Commission, and they loved it. And we have seen businesses of all sizes, universities, churches, others join in. We feel like there's a real issue with food insecurity in Louisiana that certainly goes beyond 1 million meals, but symbolically it's a big number that addresses the need in a real way that we think we can hit across the state of Louisiana. We have volunteers today of all ages and types. So there's 3 companies represented, Healthy Blue, Louisiana Blue, and Intergy. And we have employees from each of those companies who are here, who are volunteering. But courtesy of it being MLK Day, it's a day off of school, and so we have families who are here. We have spouses, we have kids. And having done this year after year, there are people who have come for 3, 4, 5 years in a row, and this really becomes a family outing. This is what they do on MLK Day to give back and service. And so I've heard from quite a few kids who said, I was here last year, I'm excited to do it again. I saw you last year, it's a great time. So we're looking forward to seeing those kids continuing to get involved, those parents continuing to get involved, and that spirit of service that we think hopefully plays itself out year round. At Louisiana Blue, our mission is to improve the health and lives of people of Louisiana, and we love doing that as a health insurer. But if you talk to our employees, they would also say, I love doing that in very tangible ways in which I can see and have a positive impact on the lives of people across our state. And this is a way that we know that we can put a meal in the hands of somebody in need. We can address an issue that is persistent, but is one that is also solvable. I love seeing that commitment to doing something real and tangible. I love seeing the smile it brings to our employees' faces, but then also to the people who are receiving it. And ultimately, we think this is about creating sort of a habit of doing right by our fellow people across the state of Louisiana that our kids are seeing, that our colleagues are seeing. It helps us understand issues in real ways, and we think that's really powerful and something that has a longer lasting impact than these meals or even today.
Today is Martin Luther King Jr. National Day of Service. It is the only federal holiday that's also a day of service. That's part of Dr. King's legacy that we're here celebrating today. And it's not just today, but today is part of a much bigger effort throughout the month of January. Volunteer Louisiana and the Office of Lieutenant Governor are working with Feeding Louisiana and corporate partners to try to bring 1 million meals for MLK Month. Today is MLK Day, but throughout the month of January, we're really challenging Louisianans to get out and serve, donate, and help us reach our goal of 1 million meals for families across Louisiana. So we're really excited about that. This is our keystone and cornerstone event. This is our biggest one, pack party that we're really excited about today. So lots happening. The weather cooperated enough today, so we're really pleased with that as well. My task with Volunteer Louisiana, we help to organize this. We have staff here that's helping direct our volunteers. We'll also be in service today. And then also to help promote the work that we're doing and to encourage other Louisianans to get involved, not just on MLK Day today, but throughout this month and help us with our 1 million meals for MLK effort. We're building on the success of what's happened before. In fact, today we're working with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Blue Cross Blue Shield has been doing these pack parties for a couple of years now, and they've laid the foundation. And they were doing between 200 and 250,000 meals per year. And we were approached, Kelly Duyon, who's my board chair, came to me with this idea. She said, we're doing 250, but why can't we do 1 million? And how can we work together to reach that goal? So it was a vision that came about a year ago. We're building on the success of what came before. But it's also an ambitious goal, but it's one where we want to really challenge ourselves and challenge the people of Louisiana to get to 1 million meals. And it's great alliteration, 1 million meals for MLK. It rolls off the tongue. We're expecting a large turnout today, which is fantastic for a number of reasons. It's fantastic on its own because that just shows that people are passionate about volunteering and giving back. They've really bought in and are excited about Martin Luther King Day and the legacy of service. And we have these inclement weather conditions that are happening this week that could have put a damper on turnout, but we can already see people have arrived early. They're ready to serve. So I think it's fantastic. There's a real energy and passion around this event and helping to address the food insecurity needs of individuals across the state. So people are walking in with smiles on their faces. They're excited. They're ready to serve. They're putting on their fancy hairnets and they're ready to get down to it.
Volunteering is something that is very important. It's important to be involved and to stay active and continue helping to serve your community. And so I'm very fortunate that as Miss Louisiana, with our partnership with My Louisiana Blue, I'm able to do stuff like this to continue to serve the community and help bringing smiles to people's face. I'm very excited to pack meals. This is my first packing party, and so I'm very excited and very grateful for the opportunity to be a part of something that is just so great and it's going to have a lasting impact on the community.
Well, I'm here today to help Louisiana Blue and a number of other agencies pack meals that will be shelf stable. Our goal in Louisiana this year is 1 million meals to honor Dr. Martin Luther King. We're here on this historic day to honor the man who brought so much forefront about justice, and we're here to serve our community and make sure that Dr. King's legend continues on in our community. Volunteerism, especially in our local communities, we do see generationally differences in the way that our volunteers show up in mass. It's important that organizations can rely on our generations coming up, our youth, and those who are still employed to give back of their time. Volunteerism is a very scary thing for organizations such as the Baton Rouge Food Bank that really rely on volunteers to do the heavy lifting. The way that the Baton Rouge Food Bank gives back to their community is through volunteers serving, and they do it in a way that they can afford to help our population who so desperately needs that food. Entergy really enjoys having their employees here to give back. One of the core values of Entergy is food insecurity and eliminating poverty. We do events like this Give Back for Food or our VITA program so that we can help those who are in the Alice population struggling to make ends meet have a little bit more simple of a life so that we can really give back to our community even though we have or a necessary resource to every household. And Entergy is there in dark times and in light, and we are glad to give back to our community in all ways.
Well, we're here for Pack Shack to honor Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday and celebration with the giving back to the community in a big way, a day of service. So it's really just one of the unique ways that we come together with our sponsors stepping up with Blue Cross, the Louisiana Lieutenant Governor, Feeding Louisiana, Entergy, and so many other players who are going to make a difference in this by helping us pack these meals. Every year when they put this together, we just constantly get amazed at the volume of people stepping up to make a difference and to come out and volunteer on basically their day off. Food banks are kind of seasonal, and if you look at things, we see a lot of food, a lot of funds coming in throughout the holidays, starting in September through the end of the year, through the Christmas and New Year's, but then it dries up. So coming in now at this time of year, right after that, to help us bridge that gap when people aren't thinking of food banks, when people aren't thinking about how grateful they are for their situation and giving back, it's a great opportunity to raise awareness because the issue of hunger and food insecurity is year-round. It doesn't stop just when the holidays pass. We are totally dependent on volunteers for our success. Last year we got the equivalent of almost 28 full-time employees from our volunteers. So they're key for us, and this is just a great example to encourage even more people by having corporate partners step up to bring their people here. Just really sets the example for so many others to step up and make a difference for us.
We came out to volunteer to help, to represent for Martin Luther King Day and giving back to the community by helping pack meals for people who may not have as much as others do. So I'm volunteering. I always bring my family along with me as well to really instill that we have to give back to our community. We really, at Louisiana Blue, we focus a lot about giving back to the community and making Louisianians have a better place to live. So I want to make sure that me and my family, we all have a part to play, and teaching my kids, especially at a young age, to start giving back and doing the little bit that we can, because every little bit helps. It makes me feel really great to be able to see not only all the people in all the different communities come together, but also just knowing that I'm doing my part to help. Right? We may not have a lot of money necessarily to give back, but if you can do your part volunteering, you can still make a big difference.
Today's turnout is awesome. I love seeing our employees from Louisiana Blue, also from Healthy Blue and Entergy, and I particularly love seeing their families. This is one of the times in the year where I get to see kids who are now a year older than when I saw them last. And they're just so excited to volunteer. There's a feeling of joy and excitement and energy, and I love that we're doing that, also committed to giving back to a really important issue across the state.
I am a little bit overwhelmed today being here with the number of people here, the number of meals that we're packing. As a girl from a very small town in Louisiana, not near Baton Rouge, to also understand that food insecurities exist across our state, it is overwhelming for me to see these people giving of their time on their day off in preparation for a major storm that's headed to Louisiana, to be here and doing nothing but filling these boxes full of food that our insecure food people in Louisiana can prepare in their homes.
I've been to these parties around 5 times in the past. My favorite part about it is when you weigh the bags to take out or put in more rice. It makes me feel good when I get to volunteer and help people. I think everyone should do it because it's a really fun experience, and you're actually helping people in need. So you get a 2-in-1.
Volunteerism, as folks have said, is sort of the rent we pay for being here on Earth. It's the way we give back to our fellow man. I think specifically we're here today on Martin Luther King Day, and the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King was one of trying to address fundamental challenges and inequities, yes, related to race, but also to economics and challenges that individuals face. And so, we think this is a very tangible way that we can say we see our fellow Louisianians who have issues with food insecurity. They might not have enough healthy food to eat. How can we address that issue in a real and practical way? And this is something we can do to benefit them, and we're really proud to be able to do that.
I consider myself a serial volunteer in that I have learned at a young age to serve while I am out in the community. And my advice to anyone is that if you can, give 5 minutes of your time to your community, whether it is your neighbor or a larger organization, to do that. It helps our communities to stay together. It helps to make the morale within your community a little bit better. And giving of yourself is a calling that some people have and some people strive for. But in doing that, whether it is a natural talent or something that you are trying to enforce in your life, it's something that can give back to just anyone.
I would definitely encourage everyone to stay involved and to continue serving their community. It's just something that nothing else compares to the joy that you can share with others. And so I definitely encourage everyone to stay involved, continue serving their communities, and trying to help make a difference in the community.
Volunteering is important in general, and of course our food banks play a critical role in ensuring that families have the food that they need. Louisiana, unfortunately, is the #1 state for food insecurity for both children and seniors, so the need here is acute. We also just came out of the holiday season, which is the busiest time for our food banks, so their shelves are depleted. So this is a critical time, meeting a critical need in Louisiana. It's always important, but especially important in January, and carrying on the legacy of Dr. King and the meaning of this holiday, which is a day on, not a day off. It's an opportunity for Louisianans to give back. We want to encourage people to give back throughout the year, but this is a special month and a special time of year.
Yeah, I think everyone should get out and do something, right? We have to take action to help people that have less than we do. Right, so it doesn't matter, again, like I said earlier, about financial. You may not have the finances to do it, but everyone can give a little bit of time, and it will help everyone to go farther in life.
I don't think people realize how significant volunteering can be in their community and the difference it can make for so many others, especially those in need. When you talk about volunteering, you're talking about making a difference.
Anybody who's eligible to receive food from any of the food banks, all the meals that are packed at the food banks will go out into the food pantries. Those are available to to any of those individuals that the food pantries serve. Some of our food banks, for example, in central Louisiana, they also do mobile food pantries where they get out of the communities. So anybody who is challenged with food insecurity is eligible to get food at the food bank or the food pantries. Just show up and get the things that you need.
So these meals that we're packing here today at the Baton Rouge Food Bank stay with the Baton Rouge Food Bank. And what they tell us is that they love these meals because they're shelf stable, they last more than a year, and they go usually in emergency kits. So we're having winter weather this week in Louisiana. We know those emergency kits are going to be put to good use, but we also have hurricanes and other storms. They're an easy way. All you need is hot water to be able to turn this into a real meal for a family. So yes, they're part of the regular food bank distribution, but also specifically in times of emergency when we know they're particularly needed. People can get more information about our work at Louisiana Blue at Louisiana Blue or lablue.com. But Million Meals for MLK is a statewide effort, and I would encourage anybody watching this who's interested in learning more, that wants to give, to volunteer, to serve. Million Meals for MLK, if you Google that, you will find the information and find ways to be able to give or volunteer with one of your local food banks.